Summary of the book. State-Monopoly Capitalism Chapter 1st. State-Monopoly Capitalism is a product of the era of imperialism. 1. The essence of state-monopoly capitalism. Emergence of state regulation. During imperialism, especially post-World War I, capitalist countries saw a rise in state regulation of their economies. This phenomenon was especially prominent during the 1914 to 1918 war, notably in Germany. Perceptions of state regulation. Many bourgeois economists and reformists viewed this as a new era for capitalism. Some believed capitalism was becoming planned rather than anarchic. Others saw it as a transformation into state socialism. Lenin's analysis. Lenin termed this phenomenon as state-monopoly capitalism, highlighting its capitalist nature. He argued it still involved a class of exploited wage workers and exploiters, capitalists. Role of monopolies. State-monopoly capitalism is characterized by the dominant role of monopolies in capitalist economies. It can only exist under monopoly capitalism. State-monopoly capitalism. It is a product and highest stage of imperialism, growing out of monopolies. Imperialism defined. Lenin defined imperialism as the monopoly stage of capitalism. Financial capital is the merging of banking capital from large monopolistic banks with industrial monopolies. The division of the world marks a shift from open colonial expansion to monopolistic possession. Concentration of production. High levels of production and capital concentration lead to monopolies. Concentration of banking capital forms powerful banking monopolies. Financial capital. Banks evolve from intermediaries to powerful financial centers, influencing industrial and commercial enterprises. Banking and industry merge through shared ownership and personal unions. Financial capital emerges as the fused capital of banking and industrial monopolies. Summary by Lenin. The history and content of financial capital involve concentration of production, emergence and growth of monopolies, merger of banks with industry, monopoly and finance capital. Monopolies and finance capital lead to economic control by a few industrial and financial magnates. A financial oligarchy emerges, influencing all economic and political institutions. Global dominance. Financial capital's dominance leads to a few capitalist states controlling others through capital export. Capitalist unions economically divide the world, while great powers divide it territorially. This creates a monopoly position for the richest capitalist countries on the world market. Imperialism. Financial oligarchy dominance is linked to imperialist policies of bourgeois states. Monopoly infiltrates all aspects of social life, influencing politics. State and monopoly. The bourgeois state becomes an instrument for financial and industrial elites. State apparatus merges with monopolies, serving their interests. Economic regulation. State regulation under imperialism benefits a small group of major capitalists. Monopolies play a decisive role in economics and politics. Capitalist production relations. Capitalist production relations evolve, deepening contradictions within capitalism. The development of capitalist property and exploitation is inherent in capitalism's progression. Socialist transition. Under capitalism, development does not naturally transition to socialism. The evolution of capitalist relations emphasizes exploitation rather than peaceful growth towards socialism. Concentration and centralization of capital. Imperialism is characterized by a concentration of capital, leading to the expropriation of small owners and dominance by a few large owners. This results in the dependence of small and medium-sized firms on these large owners. Monopoly power. The rise of monopolies strengthens capital's power over labor, increasing the exploitation of wage labor. Monopolies extend their influence beyond capitalist enterprises to small commodity producers and populations in colonies and dependent countries. Economic law evolution. Economic laws of capitalism evolve with changing conditions. Under imperialism, monopoly capital seeks monopolistically high profits, as outlined by Lenin. This development is driven by the pursuit of maximum capitalist profit through various exploitative means. Exploitation as profit source. The main source of profit growth in imperialism is increased exploitation of the working class. This is achieved through intensified labor, technological advancements, rising unemployment, and the oppression of monopolies. Rate of exploitation. The rate of exploitation has significantly increased, exemplified by the rise in U.S. workers' exploitation from 128% in 1899 to 253% in 1950. However, this alone is insufficient for generating maximum profits. Additional exploitation. Profits also grow from exploiting the working class as consumers, via high monopoly prices, and taxpayers, through the state budget. Taxes absorb up to 30% of workers' wages, contributing to the working class's absolute impoverishment. Robbery of peasantry and artisans. Monopolies exploit peasants through low purchase prices for agricultural products and high selling prices for goods. This results in the peasantry's economic hardship, further exacerbated by the tax system. Exploitation for profit. Monopolies derive maximum profit by exploiting and systematically robbing peoples of other countries, especially backward ones, through various means such as capital export, exploitation under feudal remnants, unequal exchange, and direct robbery. Economic impact. In 1948, American monopolists gained significant wealth from these sources, totaling $7,500 million. This included profits from foreign investments, sale of goods above cost, purchase of goods below cost, and services like transport and insurance. Redistribution of wealth. Monopolies not only retain all their production profits but also absorb profits from smaller firms, pushing some to financial ruin. War and militarization. Periods of war and militarization intensify these profit sources, with monopolies exploiting higher consumer prices, increased worker taxation, and unfavorable trade terms for peasants. State apparatus utilization. Monopolists increasingly rely on the bourgeois state apparatus to secure maximum profits through coercive measures like labor militarization, forced labor, and high taxation, which funnels wealth from workers to monopolists. State monopoly capitalism. The merging of the state apparatus and monopolies, with monopolies commanding the state, exemplifies state monopoly capitalism. This involves using state power to enrich monopolists and oppress workers. Overall strategy. The strategy to ensure maximum profits involves widespread direct violence and state utilization, resulting in monopolies seeking control over state apparatus to maintain their dominance and profit levels.